Noblesse Awakening is an anime adaptation of one of the most popular Korean graphic novels out there, Noblesse. And I was pretty excited about this because I heard so much about this graphic novel over the years that I was looking forward to checking it out. And then when I heard it was from Production IG, that was even more incentive to check it out. And then I saw that it was only 30 minutes long, and I looked how long the manga was, or the graphic novel, manhwa. I'm just going to call it graphic novel. I don't know how to say that. I never talk about Korean graphic novels that much, but I looked at how long the parent story was, and I kind of cringed. I thought either A, this story is just going to be something non-canon to possibly get people over there to read the graphic novel. B, it is going to be canon, but it's only going to be the first few chapters. Or C, they're going to try and squeeze the entire series down into this 30 minutes. And unfortunately, it's C, and that makes this ONA feel like just a Clip Notes version of its parent story. And that's going to be either good or bad depending on your history with this graphic novel. If you've read it before, then you are probably going to love it or hate it, and that's the best case scenario here, because if you've read it, then you're probably going to like seeing some familiar faces, and it's going to be nice to see some of your favorite scenes animated. But then again, if you're one of these people that actually really love the story and think that more people should watch it, and we're looking forward to having some sort of adaptation here, then you're going to be disappointed, because this is only 30 minutes long, and they're basically just condensing it, squeezing it all down into 30 minutes long. If you're somebody that doesn't know anything about the graphic novel, I would have to say that from my experience with this, it does not give you enough incentive to go ahead and read it. I'm not even sure why they bothered to make this, because 30 minutes is not enough time under any circumstances to tell a story that appears to be that long. Looking at everything else aside from the story itself, it is a nice looking anime. It looks pretty beautiful because we know and expect certain things from IG. The sound was nice and the fights were pretty awesome looking, but then again, I want a bit more than that. I'm just in it for the story mostly, but I wanted to give a nod to the comedy here. That was really the only thing I took away from this as far as enjoyability goes, because I remember there was one time the guy was at the table where he's this ancient vampire. He had these chopsticks, and he was imagining like the time in his past when people tried to kill him with the steaks, and then there was garlic in his food, and he kind of thought it was this assassination attempt or whatever. That was actually really funny, and that was probably my favorite part of it when he was sitting in the cafeteria there. And I'm also not a big fan of vampires that are god tier. These guys, really, there's no weakness or anything, and I'm not a big fan of that, especially in longer stories, which this was supposed to be. I would have to say, you gotta have some sort of weaknesses. They might actually have some in the story. It's hard to say, because I can only go by this 30 minutes, so hopefully this video helps you out in making your decision of whether or not this would be right for you. I was going to do a full-on review for this, but I was discouraged by the general lack of content present, so I just wanted to make a quick discussion on it, which they are actually different types of videos. Overall, I think it's just going to be 50-50 regardless of your experience with the parent story here. If you've read that, then you are either going to dislike this for not being a faithful adaptation, or you're just going to think that it's pretty cool to see these characters actually being animated. And if you haven't read any of that, then you are either going to be interested because of the setting, or maybe some of the characters, maybe even the fights. It really depends on your taste, or you're just gonna think that there's really nothing of substance there and just not be interested in it like I was. I decided to let Noblesse Awakening off the hook pretty easily with this one, just because I don't know anything about the story they're trying to tell, and general rule of thumb is most of the stories with vampires, you can't really take that seriously anyways. But I do know that Production IG is also working on a new Legend of the Galactic Heroes series, and if they fuck this up, I'm going all out, no holds barred, so beware, IG. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about Noblesse Awakening in the comments section below. I'll see you next time.